I don't even know I can't even put that into words, what we just saw right there. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the post-game show for the Knicks versus Hawks game. I am your host, Troy. You could be on any stream in the world right now, but you chose to be here with me, and I really do appreciate that. Before we break down this crazy game between the Knicks and the Hawks, you know I got to ask, because we are still on a mission to reach 25,000 subscribers. And we are very, very close to that goal. Nobody thought we could reach 20,000 subscribers until we did. Now we are 5,000 subscribers away from reaching our next goal. And we could really use your support. If you enjoy daily Knicks content like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. But let's get into tonight's game. Now, I'm still trying to process what exactly happened during tonight's game, because for me, what it seems like is that, oh no, what happened to YouTube here? My stream stopped? Oh, okay. Sorry about that, guys. YouTube kind of clocked out on me there. I apologize. I have no idea what happened there. Let's take it back from way the beginning, right from where we were before, because YouTube, unfortunately, is messing things up. I apologize. Let's keep it going here. So, again, I'm still trying to figure out what we actually just saw there, because honestly, that was the tale of two halves that I think we all kind of saw right before our eyes. That first half from the Knicks, we saw defense. We saw ball movement. We saw player movement. We saw Karl-Anthony Towns have the best defensive half as a Knick thus far. So we saw all of that, even him doing some things on offense. So these were things that we love to see. But then in the second half, I'm not sure what exactly happened, but the Knicks defensively just took off a switch and they just stopped playing defense. It started okay. The defense started okay in the third quarter, but then slowly, as they were getting picked apart by the Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young going off, Jalen Johnson doing whatever he wanted, and Daniel Dotson really doing whatever he needed to do there. Well, it's not Daniel Dotson, excuse me. Get that kid's name right, actually, before I continue here. His name, not Daniel Dotson. It's Dotson, right? Just making sure I got his name right. Dyson Daniels, excuse me. My goodness. I apologize. This kid, Dyson Daniels, was on Jalen Brunson all night long. All night long, this kid was on Jalen Brunson, causing a havoc, making it hard for Jalen Brunson to really do anything, get any type of rhythm or any type of flow. This kid, Jalen Johnson and Trae Young, took over that second half, made it hard for the Knicks. We didn't really play that much defense. We allowed them to do whatever they wanted to do inside, and they did exactly that. In the third quarter, we were up 10 points. And then after that, we saw that lead disappear, and then we saw the Hawks go up by as much as 14 points. We're going to break down exactly what the Hawks did to the Knicks tonight. What happened in the first half? What happened in the second half? And what the Hawks were able to do against the Knicks that were able to dominate us. We're going to talk about all of these points today for you guys. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And make sure you have notifications turned on. So anytime we drop new content, you get notified. And now, let's get started. The Knicks get dominated by the Hawks in the second half. I mean, guys, I don't know how else to put it here. When you watch this game, you were so hopeful watching the first half of this game because you saw the Knicks doing exactly what they needed to do against a Hawks team. Not only a Hawks team that is surging right now, but they're young and they want to play together. They like to play defense, but they also know how to play on offense when they're moving themselves and the ball. In that first half, one thing was absolutely clear. The Atlanta Hawks were missing a lot of shots. They were not making some of the shots that normally they would make. I'm talking about point blank range shots they were not making. And Trae Young, say what you want to say, but the Knicks defense on some level, as well as Young just being bothered by the Knicks and what they were running, he really didn't do anything in that first half. I believe he had 10 points only in that first half. And then come the third quarter, Trae Young goes off. And I'm not saying the entire Atlanta Hawks team wasn't playing good defense in that first half. Honestly, the reason why the Knicks didn't blow out the Atlanta Hawks in that first half was because of the defense. They may have not been making shots, but they were playing defense. Very good defense. The only reason why the Knicks were up is because the Knicks were matching that defense. Specifically, I got to give some flowers to Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns, inside in that first half, blocking shots, check. Getting rebounds, check. Putting defensive pressure on his man, check. Making sure his defender is in front of him, check. And then the outlet passes, the up-the-court passes, finding Mikal Bridges inside, finding OG Anunoby inside, finding our wings inside. Certain passes, finding Josh Hart, finding Jalen Brunson. What he does in terms of his playmaking, it doesn't get said enough. And I understand why it doesn't get said enough. I mean, look at what he does on offense. Offensively, the guy is phenomenal. So a lot of times you're going to skip by what he does in terms of his playmaking. Sometimes even in terms of his rebounding, what he does. We're going to get to Karl-Anthony Towns, his stats, and what he put up a little bit later on in the show. But we're going to break down the rest of the game because, again, it was a tale of two halves. It was a tale of the first half and what the Knicks did, and then the second half and what the Knicks failed to do. I mean, I can't believe the defensive effort that we put out in that third quarter, in that fourth quarter. Specifically, that third quarter. We were held to 18 points in that third quarter. Embarrassing. We did not play any defense. I know that because I saw Trae Young almost play after play. Go inside the paint, floater, fake a floater, alley-oop pass it to a cutter, pass it to a cutter who passes it to an open player at the wing, open three-point shot for Jalen Johnson or Bogdanovich or whoever else is open. And I'm watching this and I understand immediately. I know the game is going the opposite direction. The momentum is swinging the opposite way and the Knicks are trying to get it back, but they can't. A couple of reasons for that. When you don't play defense, you don't hit your shots, and most importantly, and we're going to get to the team stats so you guys can see how right I am when I talk about the passing and the playmaking. Guaranteed, the Knicks tonight had under at least 26 team assists. Team assists. As a team, if you're not passing the ball at least 29 to 30 times as a team, if you're not dominating on the boards, if you're not playing defense, how do you expect to win games? You're not going to win games. What's going to happen is you're going to get embarrassed, you're going to get dominated, and everybody who's watching this game on a national stage is going to see a Hawks team that is young and has no business beating what should be a championship contending team in the New York Knicks. We should be embarrassed by this loss. You could take the NBA Cup thing away from it. Take it out of it. I don't care about the NBA Cup anymore. We got bigger problems than an NBA Cup. We can't play defense consistently. We played defense for one quarter. Look at the second quarter, or maybe the first half. I'll be generous. The first half, the Knicks play defense. And then the second half, we can't show up to play defense. We are leading going into the third quarter. And we take our foot off the gas because what? It's Atlanta. We're at home. We think it's going to be an easy game. Our head and our minds are in Vegas right now. Wrong. That's where you lose. And that's where we lost. We absolutely took our foot off the gas. Our guys look tired out there. They look gassed. We're going to break down the minutes as well, too, and talk about all of that. But I don't care about the minutes. I don't care about any of those things. I know what I saw. We got taken advantage of inside. They broke down our defense. Actually, they picked it apart. We did not respond. We could not respond. We could not make shots. Open shots, we could not make. Contested shots, we could not make. And our stars could not get buckets when we needed them to. Karl-Anthony Towns, great defense played against him. Jalen Brunson was basically locked down by Dyson Daniels all game long. Could never get a bucket up, and even when he did, it looked weird, it looked awkward, and it just didn't look like Knicks basketball. It started to turn into team basketball, into heavy isolation. You know what I'm talking about. One pass and nothing else. One pass, another pass, and nothing else. Where's the ball movement? Where's the player movement? Where was all of that? It was there in the first half. It was gone in the second half. And when that left, our lead left. And this is the result. This is what we have to talk about. 108-100. The Knicks lose this game, and we lose. The Knicks lose this game, and we lose it in embarrassing fashion. Like I said, we should be absolutely ashamed of ourselves and what we were able to put up in this game. Talking about a couple of bright spots here, that first quarter for the Knicks, their defense started strong, improving early compared to the recent games that we were really playing. They effectively contained the Hawks offense, holding them to 22 points. Obviously, you can see that as well, too, in the quarter-to-quarter breakdown there. Mikal Bridges was outstanding, obviously, in that first half, making great cuts, displaying amazing help defense as well, too. Towns, strong quarter in the first, playing aggressive defense and showing sharp passing skills. He really didn't even score that much in the first half. He really didn't do that. The scoring really came a little bit in the second quarter, but more so in that second half. So we got to give credit there. The Hawks defense was also impressive in the first quarter, utilizing switching and helping defense very effectively. However, they struggled, like I said, missing a lot of open shots, which hindered their offense. The Knicks, on the other hand, excelled with their offensive movement without the ball, including cuts, which made their offense look really, really good. But even though we had a strong start, if you looked at the score is basically even. I mean, look at that, 22-28, and the Knicks are shooting the ball really well. And then you see the second quarter, 25-26. So the breakdown as well in the second quarter, you can see the Hawks came back. They were starting to fight back aggressively. But still, I thought that the Knicks and their defense in that second quarter was probably the best defense that I saw from Karl-Anthony Towns for the entire season thus far in that quarter. He was protecting the paint. He was aggressive. He was blocking shots, and he kept his man in front of him. The Hawks shooting, though, did persist in that second quarter. And even though they were missing shots, I thought they were starting to get into their own zone and starting to make a lot of shots that they were missing in that first quarter. And that entire momentum followed them into the third and then the fourth. And we obviously saw what the breakdown was. You saw there with DeAndre Hunter over there, 24 points, 8 of 15 from the field, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Josh Hart for the Knicks, 21 points, 8 of 12 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Quarter-to-quarter breakdown will basically show you exactly where the Knicks lost this game. And that really was 34-18. You guys see it right there. That third quarter was probably the worst quarter of basketball I think I can remember seeing. I don't think any defense was played. If any was played, it was probably by the 9-minute mark in the third where the defense stopped. Knicks were up by 10, I believe, at that point. And then as soon as that happened, it was like clockwork. The Atlanta Hawks called a timeout. They knew they were in a big issue, a big problem. And what did they do? They started to attack, run plays, and move the ball. I thought that Trae Young and his passing, getting everybody involved, it was contagious. Once he started doing it, Jalen Johnson started doing it. Then Dyson Daniels started doing it. That entire team started passing, finding each other, and making the game easier for them, making it harder for us because now on defense, we're scrambling. We don't know who to guard, and now the paint's more open. The paint is weaker now. The perimeter is weaker now. We couldn't stop them, and we couldn't make shots to answer anything. So not only are we unable to stop these guys, but we can't not even make our own shots. We can't make shots. We can't stop them. We're playing isolation basketball. We're stopping to move the ball. We're not moving ourselves, and we're not passing the ball as freely as we were doing in the first half. What do you think is going to happen? Nothing good is going to come from that. And the Knicks started to try to catch up. It was way too late at that point. We allowed the Hawks to basically steal our lead, take it away, dominate us before we made any adjustments, any switches, or any lineup changes. You can blame all the players you want to. If I'm the coach and I see my 10-point lead go to 2, I'm calling a timeout. If I see the lead go from 2 points leading to 5 points down, I'm calling a timeout. I'll burn through all of them because clearly something is wrong and we got to fix it. But what the Knicks did was allow it to happen. Tom Thibodeau specifically allowed it to happen until we were responding too late and it didn't matter anymore. But let's continue here as we see there with the last quarter-to-quarter breakdown, 27-28 in that fourth quarter. The final score, 108-100. Knicks lose this game. We're going to talk about Karl-Anthony Towns real quick. And after we talk about Towns, guys, we're going to go to the chat gang and see what you guys have to say. Shout out to the 78 people watching this stream right now. You know I appreciate you guys. Even on a loss, I know a lot of people don't like to watch streams, but you could be, again, anywhere else. You're choosing to be here with me. I do appreciate that. Leave your comments in the chat, and we will get to them. Right now, we're going to get to Karl-Anthony Towns. Shout out to Hoop Central for giving us the following information. Karl-Anthony Towns tonight, 19 points, 19 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and 6 fouls. Yes, he fouled out. Knicks, according to James L. Edwards, The Athletic, great guest as well, too, on the Knicks Recap show a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't checked out that episode, please make sure you do. James Edwards said, Knicks are out of the NBA Cup. That is right. With the loss of the Hawks, poor second half in nearly every way possible. Exactly what I said, breaking down what I told you guys essentially for the entire start of this post-game show. Hawks had 22 offensive rebounds. They dominated the Knicks, embarrassed us. New York will play in Orlando on Sunday. The only bright spot here is the game against Orlando on Sunday is at 6 p.m. And I believe, not even I believe, that they have a lot of time in between that to rest, relax, and watch a lot of film. Watch a lot of film. So that's something to understand and consider there. Something else to think about there as well is that Cat makes his return to Minnesota next Thursday. So besides that one game against Orlando on Sunday, it's only one game over the next 7 days. The Knicks are going to have a lot of time to rest, recover, and try to get locked in and focused for their next game against the for their next game on Sunday against the Orlando Magic and then against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But let's talk about Karl-Anthony Towns tonight. Because a lot of times he's not going to get that much. When you lose, you're not going to get praise. Even though he probably deserves it, he's not going to get it. I'll say this about Towns. If he's able to give me that defensive effort that I saw in the second quarter all game long, or at least a level of it, and he's still able to give me that offense, give me the rebounding, give me the playmaking, then I mean, what else can you ask from Karl-Anthony Towns? Well, what else can you do? He has been giving you everything. I can't look at him anymore and criticize something. Besides consistency, which, by the way, I can critique the entire team for that, the coaching staff for that. We're not consistent as a team. That's the biggest problem right now. That's the biggest problem right now. But when it comes to the Knicks and Karl-Anthony Towns, he's getting better each and every game. Defensively, he's getting better each and every game. Is it still a work in progress? Absolutely. Is he going to get taken advantage of some nights? Absolutely. But I thought his help defense tonight was very, very impressive. He was blocking shots, communicating. Him and Mikal Bridges had a great two-man game going, not only on the offensive side, but also on defense. They were communicating. So anytime his defender got lost, Towns was there to pick him up, and that help defense was coming right after by Mikal Bridges. That was very, very good defense. That's what I want to see. They're capable of doing that. And clearly they're capable of doing that basically for a half. If they can do it for a half, then how come I can't see it consistently for 48 minutes? How come I can't see it from game to game? How come I see it from one game, then the next game I might not see it, and then I don't see it again for another 2-3 games? Consistency is hitting us so hard right now. How do we expect to be a championship contender if we cannot string together consistent wins with consistent play? It just really doesn't make sense to me. Obviously, we still have the team stats to break down. We have the minutes breakdown to get to, all of the things that Josh Hart did for this team, Jalen Brunson did, and a couple of other players. So we're going to break down all of those stats for you guys. Please do not go anywhere. But before we do that, like I tend to do during about the middle of the post-game show, I like to go straight to the chat and get your take. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this really destructive game, not only because of the fact that we didn't play defense like that, But also, I mean, how could we allow so much of that to happen? It was just, and it was embarrassing. I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. Absolute embarrassment. Eric says the refs were inconsistent in their foul calling. Knicks were getting hacked left and right. Oh my goodness. First of all, Eric, thank you so much for saying that. Best comment that I've read, and thankfully it's the first comment as well too. Terrible officiating. I mean, OG Anunoby got smacked in the face on one of his drives and didn't call anything. Jalen Brunson knocked to the floor, didn't call anything. Karl-Anthony Towns pushed around, hit on the arm, but because he's so strong and it looks like it's not affecting his drive, no call. So what do you want him to do? You want him to oversell it? You want him to drop to the floor, drop to his knees? Oh, he hit my arm. What do you want? You don't want players to fake things, but you're not going to call the things that they're not faking. So what do you get? You got to make it fair at some point. Don't ask what's in the cup. I don't even know anymore. It smells like whiskey. I have no idea. I don't know. No idea. Rasta. Team got to lock in together mentally. I mean, the consistency is the aspect there. You got to be locked in consistently. If we're not locked in consistently as a team, we're not going to get anywhere fast. That's the biggest thing for us right now. That is the biggest issue for the Knicks. We're just not being consistent as the team that we need to be. And I think that's probably the biggest travesty of it all, isn't it? That the Knicks can't put together the wins that we should be putting together, beating the teams that we should be beating. Atlanta beat us this season. I don't care what Jalen Johnson is doing. I don't care what Trae Young is doing. We're a championship contender. Where is our respect? We don't expect better? This is okay? David says, I just want the Knicks to go into their next game against the Magic and beat them from head to toe. Then the next time the Knicks play the Hawks, I want the Knicks to destroy them. Got to be better defensively. Shout out to David, always giving great comments. Listen, we want them to be better from game to game, but consistency is the biggest issue here. They're not consistent, David. They're not consistent. And consistency is what wins games. You can't play defense for one quarter and then not play it again. That doesn't work. It never works. Nelly Nell, shout out to you. Subscriber as well. I appreciate that. And of course, great member too. The Knicks got out-hustled, out-rebound, and outplayed on their home court. Absolutely. There's no other way to flip that. We got outplayed. They outplayed us in almost every way in that second half. Defensively, we should be embarrassed about our performance tonight. I mean, when you allow the Hawks to basically abuse you on the glass like that, second chance opportunities for the Hawks were abound forever. There was one possession. I counted. There was one possession. They had 6 extra possessions in one play because they're rebounding more. Oh, man. Lon says the Knicks were exposed by the Atlanta Hawks. I agree with you. Weps, I think is right. WEXB. Not consistent at all. Not consistent. I mean, when you're at this level, guys, when you're a championship contender, there's something that has to be consistent. Knicks offense isn't consistent. Knicks defense isn't consistent. So what's consistent? Oh, I know. We consistently are not consistent. That's what we're consistent at doing, not being consistent. What a great thing to be consistent at. Bravo. Congratulations. Rasta. The energy last year was much better. Last year, the Knicks had a swag to their game. Don't quite see that threat as of yet with this new team. I agree with that to an extent. Not that they don't have a swag. I do think they have a way about them. They have a walk about them. I will say that it's not fully explored, though. They have it, but the only way you gain confidence in that walk, right, is when you've done something with it. The Knicks had that swag last year because they accomplished a lot with that roster. So they were able to feel that. This year, they haven't really accomplished anything with this roster. If anything, they're still figuring things out. So when that happens, you need to be able to balance it that way. So I think there's levels to it, and there's 2 sides to it. So I think that last year's team had the swag because they had more time. This year, you're probably going to see that if you give them more time. But as you give them more time, what's going to happen in the process? How long do we actually have to give them before it looks the way that we're comfortable with? I think last year it took till January before the three-point defense even became good enough that I could look at it. Is that how long we're going to have to wait again? Because we made a trade at that point as well, too. I'm hoping that's not what we're waiting for here. Isaac says, Thibs has to go. I'm hoping Leon Rose makes the right moves. Okay, thank you for that chat. I'm going to actually use that comment, Isaac, to go into the next part of the show that we have here. So anybody who just missed Isaac's comment, he said that Thibs has to go. I'm hoping that Leon Rose makes the right moves. Now, I'm not advocating for Tom Thibodeau to go, right? Because I think there's not really many coaches that can coach this team right now. The only coach in my head that probably can do it coaches the Denver Nuggets, Mike Malone. He's probably the only person I think that can coach this Knicks team because he has a lot of the same identities and principles that Tom Thibodeau does, but he's also a championship coach. So, I mean, there's levels to it. But he's not available right now. And, I mean, if he is available at some point, maybe we can talk about it. But right now, doesn't really matter. Tom Thibodeau is the best person for the job. The problem is when the best person for the job does not make the adjustments that you need him to make. And this is where we're going to go into the minutes breakdown. I like going into the team stats a lot, but I think the minutes breakdown tonight is going to help before we jump in directly to the team stats. So going down to the minutes breakdown, you see with Josh Hart there, 30 minutes. Jalen Brunson, 31 minutes. OG Anunoby, 35. Mikal Bridges, 33. Precious Achiuwa, 18. Cam Payne, 16. Miles McBride, 19. And Jericho Sims, 1 minute. Now, the only reason that Jericho Sims even played that 1 minute was that really, again, the only reason that Jericho Sims even played that 1 minute is because Karl-Anthony Towns was in foul trouble and the Knicks really didn't want to get him that extra foul. So we have to remember that as well, too. I know Towns is not listed here. I think he's cut off on the pitcher. I have no idea why that happened. But Towns played 37 minutes. So actually, these minutes are a little off, actually. I have no idea why these minutes are off. So forget that. No idea why these minutes are off. All right. So what I'm going to do... That's the wrong... Yeah. Okay. I don't know what happened there. Okay, yeah, sorry about that, guys. I have no idea why. I thought those minutes were correct, but I'm looking on my side right now, and those minutes are not correct. So I'm just going to read an update for it. And when I'm doing the video that I release tomorrow morning, I hope I can release it tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. We'll see what happens. I'll do the update with the correct image. I have no idea why I didn't catch that. OG Anunoby at 39 minutes. Mikal Bridges at 38 minutes. Karl-Anthony Towns, 37. Jalen Brunson, 36. Josh Hart, 34. Miles McBride, 20. Precious Achiuwa, 19, Cam Payne, 16, and Jericho Sims, 2. The reason Sims had 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, is because Karl-Anthony Towns picked up 5 fouls, and Tom Thibodeau really didn't want him to pick up his 6th. He happened to pick up the 6 anyways, but they didn't want him to pick up that 6th foul. He wanted to stay in the game as long as possible, but the Knicks had to make an adjustment. The adjustment that they made was to put Jericho Sims in there for, what, a minute, 2 minutes? That's it. This is where we have to talk about Tom Thibodeau. I broke down basically the starter minutes for you guys, right? 39, 38, 37, 36, 34. That's all the starters right there. You played 3 bench players, 20 minutes, 19 minutes, and 16 minutes. Jericho Sims, I'm not counting those 2 minutes. The starters still playing a lot of minutes. Either play the bench a little bit more or expand the rotation, because I don't think even 8 players is enough right now. I think we have enough room to add more players to the rotation or at least give more minutes to the bench. Why can't Cam Payne play 25 minutes? Deuce McBride play 22, 23 minutes. Precious Achiuwa play 25 minutes. They're capable. They can do it. And it's not like the Knicks are going to be hurt if that's what happens. So I think the Knicks definitely need to make sure they're doing this on their behalf. And they're trying to get others involved, especially when they're trying to run certain plays on defense and on offense. But the main thing here is to utilize more of your depth. So that way your players don't utilize more of your depth. So that way your players don't look exhausted going into the fourth quarter or trying to put up shots. I'm not saying it was fully exhaustion. I'm not saying it was fully exhaustion. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that when you play that many minutes, And it's that level of intensity, and they're playing high-level basketball, aggressive basketball. What do you think? It's absolutely going to take a toll on your body, take a toll on your legs. You're going to need to be able to rest your starters at some point in time. You're going to have to do it. And the way to do that is to play your bench and utilize them more. I just don't think Tom Thibodeau was doing that. It's unfortunate for this Knicks team because, honestly, I thought that they absolutely could have utilized more help off the bench. Maybe Bacome Dadier with his defense, with his offense, with his shooting. I would have loved to see that off the bench, or other players come off the bench that potentially could have passed the ball more, could have got others involved more. That's something I was looking for as well, too. It's unfortunate, but you have to look at the minutes managed here by Tom Thibodeau. You have to look at where it was, what the starters were playing. And the fact is, even if the game was close, if they utilized the bench a little bit more, I don't think we would have been as gassed. Maybe we have more energy. Maybe we finish out the game better. Maybe we win the game. We really can't say at this point. But what I can say is that the minutes that we're playing, if it continues like this, an injury is going to happen at some point in time. There's no way to avoid it. There really isn't. Going back to the team stats here, we can see the Knicks over here, 43% from the field, 41% for the Atlanta Hawks. So again, the Knicks were able to shoot pretty good from the field. I mean, 43% is not 50%. It's not their normal. I'll give you that. But 43 is still pretty good from the field. The Hawks shot 41. That's pretty good. Both teams shot absolutely poorly from three-point range. 26.2% for the Knicks, 29% for the Atlanta Hawks. 15 turnovers for New York still. Again, very high turnovers. That's not New York basketball. The Hawks having 11 turnovers is exactly where the Knicks need to be, not 15. So 11 turnovers. And then here is the worst of the worst part. 49 rebounds for the Knicks, 58 rebounds for the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, my goodness. What do you do with that? You lose on the boards. You can't hit a three. You barely can hit shots on the field. You get outscored and dominated in the third quarter, 34-18. You basically only win the first. You win the first quarter, you win the second quarter, and you win the third quarter. But you only win the second and fourth quarter by a point. You lose the third quarter by so many points here. This is what the problem is right now for the Knicks. They lose it by nearly 16 points here. What are we doing? How do you expect to come over this deficit if you cannot give yourself the points and the scoring you need to start off the half properly? That's exactly what we saw from the Knicks. The half wasn't started off properly. We're not rebounding the ball. We're not passing the ball. When that happens, the Knicks are obviously going to have a problem. And we did. We could not respond. We got so beaten on the boards. They demolished us. They took it out of the game for us. We couldn't even get back into the game because there was no second chance opportunities for us. One and done in that second half for New York. Ball movement basically stopped going into the end of that third quarter into the fourth, and we really couldn't do anything else. Let's take a look at the full team stats so we can get a look at what the Knicks were doing and not really doing. So if we take a look at the full team stats here, we talked about the three-point percentage. We talked about what the Knicks were shooting in terms of their field goal percentage. I want to let you know in terms of what the Knicks shot and what they allowed the Hawks to shoot. So the Hawks shot 43 out of 104. We allowed the Hawks to shoot 104 times. Conversely, they allowed us to shoot 93 times, and we hit 40 out of 93. And I want to mention the Knicks shot 42 threes is what the Knicks shot. So out of all of those shots that they put up, nearly half was three-point shots, and we only made 11 of them. Some were open, but a lot of them were contested, and they were not great shots to begin with. We also have to talk about the free throws. I mean, we keep losing points at the line. 9 to 15 tonight. Still can't hit our free throws. 60% tonight at the line. The Hawks didn't really do that much better. 65% for them. 13 of 20 from the free throw line. We talked about rebounds where the Knicks were dominated 58 to 49. Total turnovers. We talked about the Knicks giving up 15 to 11. Fast break points is the other area to look at, as well as points in the paint. Fast break points. The Atlanta Hawks, 20 points to 10 points in the paint. I mean, an absolute massacre, 66 to 54. And the largest lead for the Knicks, 12. Largest lead for the Hawks, 14. But the fast break points, the points in the paint, the rebounds, the way they hit their free throws, the way they shot the ball from the field, how aggressive their defense was. The Knicks did everything possible in that second half to lose the game, is the best way I can explain that. You didn't play defense. How are you going to win? You're not hitting your shots. How are you going to win? You're not passing the ball. How are you going to win? Oh, yeah. What did the team assist say again? Team assist. Right. 27 assists. Go look at the games we won. 28 assists, 29 assists, 30, 35, 40. We win like that. Move the ball, move yourself, play unselfishly, and that's how we win games. While sometimes playing a level of defense. Tonight, didn't do anything like we normally do on offense and thought it would be okay to take our foot off the gas in an NBA Cup game being played this aggressively, this heavily. And we thought we can take our foot off the gas because it's okay. It's just Atlanta, who destroyed us in the second half, dominated us in every single way possible, picked our defense apart, picked the Knicks apart, passing the ball, going inside, penetrating, dominating, finding the cutter, fighting the shooter. It's like clockwork. I can see it in my head. I see Jalen Johnson right now as I'm talking to you guys, rolling to the rim, easy bucket inside, rolling to the rim, finding a cutter, rolling to the rim, throwing it to an open three-point shooter. Trae did the exact same thing. Dyson did the exact same thing when he wasn't suffocating in terms of playing defense on Jalen Brunson. That's what we saw. And we saw it way too much tonight. Listen, I'm not saying that the Knicks have to play perfect defense every night. Not even saying that's possible some nights. But the level of effort, I can't teach effort. You can't teach effort. The coaching staff, to a certain extent, can't teach effort. When you give up on defense, when you give up on plays, when you just have the body language of, I see that. The fans see that. The defense sees that. What do they think? I got him exactly where I want him now. Attack, dominate, destroy inside. What else do we see? That's exactly what we saw. And we continue to see that same level. Not only by the Hawks, not only by the Raptors, not only by the Pistons, not only by the Rockets. Do I need to keep going? Because this is not the first time this has happened. It happens. Lack of adjustments. We did nothing. Nothing. And when you don't make adjustments and you're late to make adjustments, you play your starters near 35 plus minutes each. You don't use the depth that you have. You can't make shots anyways. It's a recipe for disaster, recipe for you to lose the game. And both of those things happened. I don't know. I thought I could not be more embarrassed with the Detroit game. Thought I couldn't be more embarrassed with the Toronto game. Thought I couldn't be more embarrassed until I continue to be more embarrassed. First half, great basketball. Second half, I don't even know what basketball I'm looking at anymore because it's not New York Knicks basketball. What I saw in that second half was not basketball that I'm okay with looking at or that you guys are comfortable with watching, because that's not New York basketball. Not for me and definitely not for you. That's basically all I have to say regarding this post game, regarding this game between the Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. Just a terrible game in each and every way in that second half. no consistency, and it hasn't been a consistent problem. Excuse me, no consistency, and the consistency issue has been a problem all season long. And until we fix that, we're not going to win the games we should win. We're not going to win the games we need to win. And that's where we are right now. Before we completely end the show, you know how I always do it. Let's go to the chat gang, see what you guys have to say. And then we're going to break down a couple of other things in terms of your comments, maybe answer some other questions that you have. And then we're going to close up shop for today. Go into the chat gang because I believe we have another super chat from my guy, Sheldon Blackman. First of all, Sheldon, I appreciate you, my guy. $5 super chat. It really does help the show. So thank you. We are nothing more than a 500 team. If we don't correct and address our defensive woes, in particular on the perimeter, we need consistency. Shout out to you, my brother. I can't say it perfectly. I can't say it more perfect than that. I cannot say it any better than that. If we don't improve our consistency, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to drop more games than we're going to win. You cannot win games if you're not playing defense, because defense is needed regardless of what anybody says. You can say that you don't need to play heavy level defense if the other team is letting you shoot whatever you want to shoot. I know some people who actually believe that. That's not true. You need to play on both sides of the ball, because if you don't, you get exposed like this. We were exposed. Let's keep it going here. Ron Mill says, I'm tired of the crying when we get fouled. It takes the Knicks out of the game. Foul back, play defense, get tough right back. Ron, I got to agree with that. Towns does it. Hart does it. To an extent, Brunson does it. We just get caught talking too much to the referees, not running back, not playing. You know how I know that? We made a shot and still got beat in transition. What? We made a shot and got beat in transition. You know how slow you got to be to make a shot and still get beat in transition? Unbelievable. Don't ask who's in the cup. I can't say. But if you ask me in about 5 more sips, I might tell you. Okay. Let's see. Isaac, do you think we should trade for Walker Kessler? If not, who else should we trade for? Or should we just keep Mitch and see what happens? First of all, Isaac, great question. I appreciate that. First things first, I'm going to do a video on this, so don't worry about it if you didn't feel like you heard the update. Mitchell Robinson and an update for him. Last update I saw about Mitch is that he's likely not going to return until late January, early February now. If that's the case for Mitchell Robinson, then really it depends on where the Knicks are come that time in January. If we're hovering around 500, the Knicks are going to make a trade, I think. If we're not, and we're winning 10 games straight and we're far away from 500, then I think they continue to wait for Mitch, because that's the plan right now, is to wait for Mitch. However, losing has a way of changing your plan. So if they continue to lose, yeah, I can see their plans changing. I don't see Walker Kessler in the plans, only because you got to deal with Danny Ainge. We don't have the assets to deal with Ainge. And also, I believe I read a report earlier today that Danny Ainge is not including Walker Kessler in any trade talks anymore. He is keeping him as a young piece for the roster. Listen, I don't know what to believe with Danny Ainge. I don't know what's smoke, what's real, what's fake. It's Ainge. What I can say, though, is that Jonas Valanciunas has been a player on the Knicks list all offseason long. And they have the Washington Wizards pick, which means that any other contender that goes to them would probably not be able to put a better package together than really the Knicks could. And I know we all love Presta Achua. I know we all, maybe not all, but some of us have a soft spot for Jericho Sims and maybe a couple of other players on this team. But if worse comes to worse, a trade could happen. I'm not saying it could be Precious. They might be able to do a flip with Mitchell Robinson. The problem is Mitchell Robinson has no value, so to flip him is almost impossible. That's why the Knicks are really waiting as well, too. I mean, they try to trade him all offseason long. And this is before anybody knew he was going to be missing till January. And they couldn't flip him then. So I'd find it very hard to believe that they could flip him now. Let's see. Marcel says, tired of getting curb stomped by the MF Hawks, man. For real. I agree with you, man. The Hawks beat us, I think, a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. And then they beat us again. And they're doing it really in the same exact way. They switched a lot, switched on defense. But then when they saw that Dyson Daniels was perfect on Jalen Brunson, they really didn't have to switch anymore. Let's see. Sheldon says, I hate losing to wait, what is that? Oh, I hate losing to Trae Young and company, especially when they're talking crazy in the Garden. Like, check that. Put a hard foul on him. Stretch him out. That bumping of the gums is terrible. I agree with you. Trae Young was doing all of that, talking way too much. Didn't like that at all. Let's see. Glocko says, our hands are tied. There's no way to improve this team without dismantling our base. I think our destiny is a rebuild, repeating the same cycle forever. Listen, I don't hope that's the case at all. I think losing this game is eye-opening. I don't think it's a sign that the rebuild is part of the future. The Knicks are still a very good team. They just don't have any defense consistently. You saw the second quarter like I did. They play defense. They just don't play it consistently. When you don't play defense consistently, this is exactly what it looks like. Let's see here. Oh, sorry about that. Hit the mic. Trying to see if we have any other comments. Isaac says, I didn't know he was worth all of that. I think who we're talking about here. I can't really follow who you guys are talking about there, so I'll wait. Nick Street Talk says, Towns freezes up in the paint. So I don't know if he freezes up. I think I know what you're talking about, though. When he gets attacked inside, it's not as much he freezes. He walks back sometimes versus standing pat and using his body, using his shoulders. I've seen that from Towns from time to time. I don't know if you want to consider that. I don't know if you want to consider that something horrendous because he's looking for help on that side as well too, especially from the weak side when somebody's coming down low on him. But sometimes he doesn't get it, and that's why I think it looks like he's off. Other times he's late to rotate. The switches get him a lot because he helps so much and he overcommits that when he does switch, he's always late to go back to his other man. And that's why they always get caught inside with an open guy, either cutting baseline, cutting down low, or in the corner as well, too. They can find an open cutter there. So you normally see that. Let's see here. Want to see if there's any other comments here. We might not have any other comments. Listen, I can't blame you guys, man. With the night that we just had, I mean, we're not going to play again until Sunday. So after editing this video, and I got a couple of other videos to drop about Landry Shaman. I got an update about him. And Mitchell Robinson got an update about him. So after those videos, if there's no other updates, really, I mean, I'm just going to be waiting to see what else comes out and waiting until the Knicks play Orlando on Sunday and get ready for that post game for you guys as well, too. So we're definitely going to be doing that and getting you guys up to speed. If you guys do want to support the show even further, you guys already know how to do that. Please go ahead and smash that like button. People have asked me, why do you want to hit the like button so much? It's really because of the YouTube algorithm. I have no idea why, but the more times you hit the like button, the more time this video gets seen by other Knick fans who enjoy Knick content. So if you do that for me, it would really mean a lot. Another thing you guys can do if you're already at the like button, it's only so close right there. Hit the subscribe button as well, too, if you're not subscribed. It would really mean a lot. It supports the channel and everything we're trying to do. I'm going to read a couple of more comments here, and then we're going to close up shop, call it a night for tonight's show, and then catch you guys on the other side. Jay Taryn says, give Dottie 8 minutes, along with Huck Porty. Thibs needs to improve on his game time adjustments. Losing iHeart hurt us defensively and on a rebounding level as well, too. I appreciate you, my guy. I agree with you as well, too. Losing iHeart, seeing what he's doing with OKC right now, clearly that could be needed. It's something that we could look at right now and say, yeah, we could utilize that. But, I mean, it doesn't matter. We can't have iHeart back. We only have the players that we have right now. We have to make the best out of a bad situation. I actually think I have an idea of what the Knicks can run to do this. I might be saving that for a video, might be doing that for a members-only video of how the Knicks can actually fix this defense with the roster that they have. And it includes another one of their bigs who's available right now. We'll get to that in another video, though. Knicks Street Talk says, I agree. Too many lobs over his head. He's not getting help either. He's not. Not a lot of times. I mean, in the first quarter, the second quarter, I thought Mikal Bridges was doing a very good job swinging, helping him on the weak side, and making sure he was curling. So that way, anytime his defender was get lost and Towns would come to meet him, he would be right behind them trying to get the steal. So that was pretty good defense. They stopped doing that in the second half. I don't know why. And the thing is, they stopped communicating. Watch the third quarter. If you watch the third quarter, there's no communication. They're not even talking out there. They're not saying anything. And you're not going to win like that. I dropped the video for members only a few days ago. We talked about Mikal Bridges and what he was talking about in terms of calling out the Knicks defense. Now, I can't spoil that because it is a members only video. But the one thing I will say is when he was calling out the Knicks, the one thing he called out was the communication. They're just not communicating. And he said that when the Knicks get beat offensively and they're not scoring, they're more susceptible to getting beat on defense and allowing what you basically saw tonight. And that's not okay. You can't basically give up, get beat, and think that this is the next course of action. This is the right way to move. We need to be better as a team. And who controls all of that? That morale level. It does come from the players. It comes from the coach too. For a lot of people, they don't want to blame Tom Thibodeau. Who are you blaming for the minutes management tonight? Who are you blaming for the adjustments or lack thereof tonight? Players can't sub in and sub out themselves. I blame the players and I blame the coach. And if you guys are not blaming the coach, then you got to tell me why you're protecting him. Because we're not protecting any of these players. So why does he deserve protection? Shout out to Sheldon Blackman again. I appreciate you. Another super chat. $3 super chat as well, too. Every little bit helps the show. So thank you so much. Defense is key. Shout out to you, True Troy. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a loyal subscriber and follower of the show. I do appreciate that. And defense is key. That's how you win playoff games. That's how you win games like this. That's how you win close games. You have to play defense. It has to be consistent, and I need to see it for 48 minutes. Yuri, my guy, moderated in the house, and of course, fellow member, what's going on, man? Is that a great time to be a Knick fan tonight? It was a hard game to watch. I know you probably feel the same way watching that game. I mean, tough pill to swallow. Just was not what we needed to see from a Knicks team that could have given you more. Clearly showed you they could have given you more, but just couldn't do it when the game was on the line. Strong Island Bomber says Eastern Conference app. Knicks will make the conference finals, and I believe the Knicks give them time. We still got like 55 games left. Listen, I'm not saying I don't believe in them. I still do. I always will believe in the Knicks. I bleed orange and blue forever. That's never going to change. In the same respect, though, I have to be honest with what I'm seeing. And that defense has not been really improved in terms of consistency all season long. Until the Knicks prove it to me, I'm just not going to believe it. There's no reason for me to believe anything that they're showing me right now. Because unless it's consistent, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Why do I care how good your offense looks if you're not going to give it to me every night? It doesn't matter. If they played good one game offensively, would we be bragging? No. That's why the defense for one quarter doesn't matter. Did they do it for 48 minutes? No. So why do I care? Carlton Brown says, Huckporty and Cat together. We need to see this. We do. Unfortunately, though, Huckporty is dealing with an ankle injury right now. So he's not going to be playing. I don't even know when he'll return. He's currently day-to-day. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Yuri says, I didn't watch the game. Was watching the Christmas play. Oh, well, first of all, shout out to you. You did yourself a favor by missing the game. It was terrible. It was horrible. The first half, it was like Christmas morning. And then the second half is when you went downstairs for Christmas morning and you realized you woke up in a wrong house that didn't celebrate Christmas and they have no gifts. That's essentially what the second half was. It was terrible. They gave it to you, gave you all the hope, and then took it all away from you in the second half. Terrible. Last comment. Glocko says, bro, I'm following the Knicks since 1992. I can't stand seeing the same cycle repeat itself over and over again. I will never stop supporting the Knicks, but I will not spend my time suffering. And that's the type of time I'm on as well, too. I believe the exact same thing. Let me make something clear again. I love this team. Been a fan for 20 plus years. Been following this team for a very long time. And I can very much honestly say, you can love something and criticize it. Normally, when you criticize something you love, it's because you love it so much that you have to criticize it because you know it can get better. That's what all of this is. I love the Knicks, love what they can do, always disappointed in what I don't see consistently. You guys cannot be happy with the defensive effort that we saw from this team tonight. It was an embarrassment. They allowed a Hawks team to dance on them inside and do whatever they wanted. There's no way you can explain that third quarter. 18 points? 18? Last comment. I agree. Been a fan since Ewing and Starks. First of all, Strong Island Bomber, I appreciate you and I appreciate your fandom. A lot of the fans of the show who've been following the channel, and I do appreciate all of you guys as well too. You seem to gravitate to the fact that I've been a fan for a long time. Basically, sometimes I've been a fan either as long as you or you guys have been a fan just a little bit longer than I have. But I love to do my research and I love looking at old Knick games. I do that a lot, actually. I watch a lot of the 90s games a lot. It kind of brings me back to when my father was alive and I used to watch those games with him. I used to connect on that level with him. So when I watch those games again, it kind of makes me feel like I'm right back there watching the games with him again. So I encourage everybody, if you did watch the games in the 90s, you have a familiar memory of one game, do yourself a favor and watch it. I'm not saying if you have no memory of it, maybe you don't have to watch it. But if you have some sort of memory of those days, do yourself a favor once in a while. Maybe put on a game. Might make you feel a little bit better and have a little bit more appreciation of how the game today is played and how the game back then was played. Just saying, it's a fun experiment, fun thing to try if you have a little bit of time on your hands. But honestly, guys, that's going to do it for today's show. This was the post-game show for the Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. And I love the fact that we're getting together basically each and every post-game now. And I'm talking to you guys, giving you the raw reaction, giving you the stats, the information, and all the other points that you need. That's exactly why I do the things that I do. So the fact that you guys actually love it, support it, and continue to see it and want to see it, it really makes me happy and warms my heart. So thank you guys so much. Really appreciate that. Let me know what you thought about today's show, whether you're watching the playback. You can leave a comment or you're live right now. Leave a comment as well, too. I want to know what you thought about tonight's game. Did you like tonight's game? Not did you like tonight's game. I know nobody liked tonight's game. What didn't you like about tonight's game? What did you like in certain points of tonight's game? Was there anything that I didn't mention from tonight's game that you wanted to hear more about? Let me know in the comments, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button. Leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.